Welcome back to the channel. A couple of months back I did a full video running through the build process and the cost of making this building. This is our home gym and office. Now in that video I promised that I would do a full run through of the inside and go through all the equipment we've got in here on the gym side and the office side. So I'm going to start off with the office side, which is basically this quarter of the building. So for work I do media, which involves mainly doing websites and videos, so this is my main workspace. So this is the office part of the building. As you can see, got a massive desk. This desk is actually 8 foot long, so this is a full sheet in length anyways of OSB, and it's scorched to give this effect. And then we've also got a sheet of OSB on the wall because I wanted to mount everything on the wall but also hide all the cables. So as you can see, we've got the screen here, which is just a 40-inch TV, and then the Mac Mini mounted on the wall, but all of the cables just go straight up and they go into the back through this sheet of OSB, and then the only cables that we've got visible are these cables here that run down through to the power. It's a really basic, clean setup, to be honest. I wanted something that was just simple, not cluttered, because I don't really like working in all the clutter. So we've just got standard office chair, which is nice and comfy, and then the setup is just a 4K screen, and then the new M2 Mac Mini, which is perfect for all my video editing. And then I've got these 3 Logitech speakers, which are perfect for not only video editing, but also for obviously using when we're in the gym as the music. Then we've just got a shelf up there, which is just a few little things. I've got like a football that I got off my nephew, my dad's old camera for his 21st birthday, a couple of old trophies and stuff. Just to have some sort of decoration in here. We've got the 2 neon signs, just because I love neon signs. We've got that one there, and then we've got one in the corner, which I'll show you. We use those sometimes as the main light source in the gym when it's a bit darker, just to make it look a little bit cooler in here. And I quite often like editing in the dark, just with a little bit of colour in the corner. So I can like focus on the screen, and then I'll maybe have that far corner neon sign on. So that links us into the power. This is an off-grid building, so we've got solar panels on the roof, and we've got this little thing that is linked to the inverter, and that basically shows you the AC and DC power and how many watts you're using. So we're running 150 watts at the minute with the screen, speakers, computer, and the 2 neon signs, so not too bad at all. We've got 400 watts of solar on the roof, and then under here we've got 2 130 amp hour batteries, a 1000 watt pure sine wave inverter, and then the solar charge controller. I'm not going to make this into like a solar video, so I'm not going to really go through that, but the solar basically comes from the roof, goes down there, charges the batteries, and then we run everything in here off of solar. The only actual cable that we've got coming into this room is the internet, because we decided to run an Ethernet cable from the internet in the house to here. We did have Wi-Fi, but it was doing strange things to the Wi-Fi in the house, so we just got rid of that. And because this is like a fixed computer, it's not a laptop, it can just be wired straight into the router in the house, and it gives you really fast internet, and we don't really need Wi-Fi in here. The only thing you're really using in here is like the music, so that's all on the computer, so you don't really have to worry about your phone or anything. On this side we've just got some storage, nothing too exciting, and then down this side we've got more storage and the printer all built in there. And other than that, I don't really need much else for doing my work, so it's basically just a nice open space. And then if I need to do any drawing or writing, I just move across to this side and I've got a nice big space, because I wanted a massive desk, because I can't stand a tiny little desk where if you've got two things on your desk, it basically fills the whole thing. So that's the main office section. I'll quickly show you the heating. I'll not go into it too much, but before we go into the gym, I'll show you that. So when I first did the office, originally I didn't put any heating in. Now, on sunny days, it's fine, like even during the winter, because we've got 3 windows and then the door is like a full length piece of glass as well. So the solar gain in here is like crazy. It gets crazy hot, which is why most of the time during the summer, I keep all the curtains shut to keep it cool in here. And like I mentioned in the build video, if you've not watched that one, I'll link it down below. It's 100mm Kingspan insulation, so it stays fairly warm. Once the heat's in here, it stays in here. But I was finding in the mornings, it was like 6-7 degrees in here until it warms up. And if the sun wasn't out, it doesn't really warm up that much. So I bought this cheap and cheerful like workshop stove, which to be honest is dreadful. Don't buy one, just buy a proper stove. Like, it does its job, you light one fire and it warms the whole room up, but the build quality of it is absolutely dreadful. You can see how like white the paint's gone and stuff, but it does its job. It makes it nice and warm in here, so can't really complain too much considering it was pretty cheap as well. And that's just mounted on a piece of sandstone, I think that is, just to obviously stop the rubber floor melting. Right, then onto the gym side, which takes up the majority of the room. We've also got, I think that's a Poang chair, IKEA chair. You probably recognise it because everyone's got one. In that corner, which to be honest, mostly gets used when we're like resting whilst we're in the gym. But onto the gym side, we've got a rubber flooring down straight onto the concrete base. This is a rubber floor that was bought off eBay. It was loads cheaper than the proper like gym flooring. And what it is a recycled rubber that's been used for under 3G football pitches, which are like the artificial football pitches. So that was really cheap, cleans up really well. This has been in over a year now. There's only one slight bit of damage there, but we've got extras, so I can take this piece out and put a new piece in. So it's wearing pretty well, and it was like less than half the price of actual gym mats. This corner is the sort of cardio corner. We've got this Fitness King bike, which is basically the same as the C2 Bike Erg. The only difference is the screen. So the amount of calories and distance and stuff is different if you're used to a C2 bike. And then in this far corner, next to the window, we've got the Rogue Echo bike, which is hell. But we've got that for a really good price. So in terms of cardio, we're pretty covered. We were planning on adding against this wall one of the wall-mounted ski ergs. We probably will at some point, but we had an issue with the order when we tried to order one of them, but I'll not go into that. Then down here we've got most of the weights that we've got. So we've got just a light kettlebell. Isn't really much good for training, but useful for like warm-ups and stuff. And then we've got some hex dumbbells. We've got 2 15-kilo dumbbells. We want to get a few more heavier dumbbells, so we'll add those at some point and probably build a little dumbbell rack, which no doubt I'll do a video about. Then here we've got the bumper plates. These are, I'm not sure, Strongway bumper plates. So we've got 2 pairs of 5 kilos, 2 pairs of 10 kilos, and a pair of 20 kilos. And I just built this nice, sturdy, cheap little rack that cost me less than a tenner to make, because it's just made out of some CLS, so that's really handy for keeping those in. And then if we move on to this side, we've got more of the weights. So on this side, we've got some steel plates. So we've got 2 10s and 4 20s. So we've got 100 kilo in them, 100 kilo in the bumper plates, and then we've also got some like fractional plates. So we've got a 5, pair of 5s, pair of 2.5s, and a pair of 1.25. So you can make sort of every weight that you need to when you're training. On the wall here, we've got the 2 barbells mounted, so that's a 20 kilo bar, 7-foot bar, and that's a 15 kilo 6-foot bar, which is the powder coated pink one. So I'm a bit jealous of that one because mine's just a boring grey silver bar. Mounted on the wall there, we've got Emma's weights vest. It's a 7 kilo weight vest. So this is the power rack and cable stack that we've got. This was just an Amazon one, probably the cheapest one you can get on Amazon for a full rack with the cable stack. And you know what? It's actually pretty decent. Like, you can wobble it a little bit, but I'm like over 100 kilos and it easily takes my weight. And you can get a fair amount of weight onto the cable stack. So on the cables, you've got a top mounted one, so like lat pull downs and stuff. And then you've got a bottom mounted one where you can do anything like curls or rows or all those sorts of things. Then we've got this bench. This bench is terrible, but when we were buying everything, I just bought a cheap bench and I wanted an adjustable one. So it's a bit wobbly, but once it's set up and like set, it's not too bad. Like, I'm pretty heavy and it takes my weight plus like benching weight and whatever fine. It's got the adjustable pins inside and outside, so that's quite handy. So you can bench or squat inside, but then if you want to do something like shoulder press, you can do that out here. Got just some extra shoe storage on the wall for like different training shoes and the running shoes that very rarely get used. And then behind here, we've just got all of the accessories. So we've got the cable, the barbell clips, got like ropes, handles, a few balls for like rehab stuff, and then on this side we've got various bands as well as some fat grips, and I've got some figure of 8 straps there. And then in this one we've got some liquid chalk, some smaller straps, and then the pens for the whiteboard that's mounted on the wall there. Then in this corner, really not very exciting, we've got one of these acupressure mats and a ab mat sit-up mat thing. Then just various bits and pieces like lifting shoes and belts and knee sleeves and straps and those sorts of things in there. And again, just various bits of like rehab stuff and bands in that one. One thing I forgot to mention is we've got some wooden rings that are attached to the pull-up bar up here. So you could do ring pull-ups, ring dips. These are obviously adjustable to different heights, so they're quite cool. And they just get put to the side when we're not using them. So yeah, that's the gym part of the building. We train in here at least twice a week, so it gets good usage. Emma's still a member of a CrossFit gym, so she goes there on the other days. And then I just train other times on my own in here as well. As you can see, we've kind of got the majority of the stuff that we need. It's always going to be one of them things with a home gym that you always want more stuff. We definitely want to get a ski erg, so that'll be the next sort of machine. But definitely want to get more dumbbells, whether or not that's just a set of 20s or get like a full set and we can put proper dumbbell rack in, maybe over there by the window or something. We're sorted for plates. I want to get a new barbell at some point, but that's just because I want a pretty barbell that's a bit nicer than the rusty old one. And then we'll maybe upgrade this at some point, but that'll probably not be until we next move and we have a bigger space, because I'd like to get a rack that's also got a Smith machine in. I think Primal Strength do one, so it's like a Smith machine in this little back section, and then it's a squat rack in the rest of it, so that'd be quite cool to get. And I'd maybe get like a proper cable stack. These are fine, but you have to manually load the weight on and off, which like is fine, but it's easier just to stick a pin in and move to the weight that you want to use. So yeah, at some point we'll do like another video. If you're watching this and this video is like a couple of years old, hopefully by this point we'll have done a new dream home gym build. But for now, thank you for watching. As always, if you like the video, give it a like, subscribe so you don't miss any more videos, and I'll see you in the next one.